Hello students, this is first unit topic, energy stored in a capacitor. You well know that capacitor means the device which can store the electrical energy. Then how the expression for the capacitor we calculate this topic. Clear? Then energy stored in the capacitor means charge accumulate on the plates of the capacitor. Select there is a capacitor having the capacity C and at any time t is equal to 0 the charge on the capacitor 0 means initially the capacitor is uncharged, or at t is equal to t time the charge on the capacitor q is equal to q. This is the charge at any time t. We are going to provide the capacitor charge capital Q, and at any time the charge is q. Then what happens? The potential difference across the plate of the capacitor V is equal to Q by C at the time t. Now a small charge dQ is given to the capacitor. The small work done in this process, this is dW is equal to VQ. Work done is equal to potential difference multiplied by charge. That is Q by C into dQ. This is the small amount of work done to provide the dQ charge to the capacitor after the time t. Clear? Our target is to provide Q charge to the capacitor. That is now the total work done dW is equal to 0 to Q. This is the total work done to provide the Q charge to the capacitor. This is Q by C dQ, or W is equal to 1 by C 0 to Q dQ, and the integration W is equal to 1 upon C Q square by 2 0 to Q, or W is equal to 1 upon 2C Q square minus 0. That is W is equal to Q square upon 2C, and this work done is stored in the form of potential energy. That is the energy stored in the capacitor U is equal to Q square upon 2C. Clear? This expression can be written as, we know that Q is equal to CV, then U is equal to C square V square upon 2C, or U is equal to half CV square. This is the energy stored in the capacitor. This formula, or one another thing, U is equal to half CV into V, or U is equal to half CV, this is Q, and V. Whatever be the requirement of the numerical, we use the formula. Then the next topic is the energy density of a capacitor. Clear? Now the energy density of a parallel plate capacitor. It is defined as the total energy stored per unit volume of a capacitor. Means total energy stored per unit volume of the capacitor. Then how we can calculate it? We know it. Energy stored in the capacitor half Q square upon C. This is first equation. And the second part is the surface charge density. Sigma is equal to Q upon A. Or this equation can be written as Q is equal to sigma A. This is second equation. And one expression is electric field intensity between the plates. Sigma upon epsilon naught. Or sigma is equal to E epsilon naught. This is equation 3. And one equation more. Capacity of a parallel plate capacitor C is equal to epsilon 0 A upon D. All equations are well familiar with us. We all know these equations. This equation we derived recently, and these equations also in terms of capacitance. All we are using. This is equation used in Gauss theorem. Then from equation 1 and 4, U is equal to half Q square upon C epsilon 0 A into D. From equation 1 and 4. Suppose this is equation 5. From equation 5 and 2, U is equal to half Q square sigma square A square D epsilon 0 A. A, this one, or half epsilon square AD upon epsilon naught. AD is the volume of the capacitor, area of the plate, and D distance between the plates. U upon AD is equal to half sigma square upon epsilon. This is equation 6. And from equation 3 and 6, equation 3 and 6, U upon D, this is energy density of a parallel plate capacitor, small u, half E square epsilon square upon epsilon, or this, or half epsilon E square. Energy density of a capacitor, half epsilon naught E square. This is the required expression. Clear? Then, so one term we use in different numericals, common potential. Then what is common potential? We are given two capacitors, C1 and C2. C1 charge with the potential V1, C2 charge with the potential V2, and we connect them. Clear? Then the potential of higher capacitor flow through to the lower potential, means for this charge flow till the potential of both capacitors will be equal. Clear? Charge is not equal, only the potential is equal. Just in lower class we study, we have one container and we have another container joined by a tube, and when they are placed at the same level, the water level in both the container is same, but not the water is same, only the water level is same for both the container. Same way here the potential is same, charge is not same, charge is different. If both capacitors have the same capacity, then the charge equal. If both the container have same area of cross section same, then the water is equal and level is same. But level is always same, clear? But water depends on the dimensions of the container. Here the potential is same, but the charge depends on the capacity of the capacitors. Then mathematically we can calculate it. When two charge capacitors of different potentials are connected by a connecting wire, this is connecting wire. Charge flows from higher potential to the lower potential. This flow continues till the potential becomes equal. This equal potential of two capacitors is called common potential. This term is common potential. It means when the circuit is in saturated position or saturated position, then the potential of each capacitor is same, that is common potential. And mathematically we can calculate it. Common potential means total charge upon total capacity. Q1 is the charge on the first capacitor, Q2 is the charge on the second capacitor, and C1, C2 their capacity, then the total charge upon total capacity. Charge is equal to CV, this is C1 V1 plus C2 V2 upon C1 plus C2. And one another way, if C2 is uncharged capacitor, that is V2 is equal to 0. It means C1 V1 upon C1 plus C2. This is the value of common potential. Clear? And how we can use this expression in numericals? Let us see. Question is loss of energy on sharing charge. Means let there are two capacitors C1 and C2. C1 charged with the potential V1 and C2 charged with the potential V2 respectively. Clear? C1 charged with the potential V1, C2 charged with the potential V2. Then these capacitors are connected with a connecting wire. This is C1 and this is C2. Then the higher potential capacitor starts the charge flowing towards the capacitors having lower potential, and this flow continues till the potential becomes same, that is common potential. V equal to C1 V1 plus C2 V2 and C1 plus C2. This is equation 1. This is the common potential when these capacitors are connected with each other. Clear? And we are going to calculate when two charge capacitors are connected with each other, there is always an energy loss. Then initially the energy is stored in the capacitors. Energy is stored in the first capacitor. This is U1 is equal to half C1 V1 square, and energy is stored in the second capacitor, half C2 V2 square, and the total energy is stored in the combination before connecting them, that is E1 is equal to half C1 V1 square plus half C2 V2 square. This is equation 2. Clear? This is the total energy stored in the combination of capacitors before connecting them, and when they are connected with each other, then they acquire the common potential. Clear? Then the energy stored in the combination E2 is equal to half total capacity C1 plus C2 and V square. This is common potential because they acquire a common potential. From equation 1, E2 is equal to half C1 plus C2 and V is equal to C1 V1 C2 V2 upon C1 plus C2 whole square. Clear? Or this expression is written as E2 is equal to half C1 V1 C2 V2 square upon C1 plus C2. Because this is C1 plus C2 square, this value cancel and 1. This is equation 3. Clear? If there is always an energy loss when they are connected, it means if we calculate E1 minus E2, it becomes positive. It means energy stored before connecting them E1, energy stored before after connecting them E2, then the difference is positive if E1 is greater than. Same way we calculate E1 minus E2, change in energy. E1 minus E2 is equal to half C1 V1 square half C2 V2 square minus half C1 V1 C2 V2 square upon C1 plus C2. Clear? Or two C1 plus C2, here C1 V1 square C1 plus C2 plus C2 V2 square C1 plus C2 minus C1 V1 C2 V2 whole square. Clear? Or this expression C1 square V1 square plus C1 C2 V1 square plus C1 C2 V2 square plus C2 square V2 square minus C1 square V1 square minus C2 square V2 square minus 2 C1 C2 B1 B2 upon 2 C1 plus C2. Clear? Or C1 V1 square C2 V2 square cancel and C1 C2 C1 C2 and C1 C2. This is common term delta E. This is change in energy. Or E1 minus E2 is equal to C1 C2 V1 square plus V2 square minus 2 V1 V2 upon 2 C1 plus C2. Clear? One term, second term, and the third term. Or delta E or E1 minus E2 is equal to C1 C2 V1 minus V2 whole square upon 2 C1 plus C2. This term is positive term because capacity cannot be negative, and V1 minus V2 whole square, this term is also positive. Or E1 minus E2 is equal to positive, therefore E1 is greater than E2. It means before connecting the capacitor, energy stored in the capacitor is large. After connecting them, capacitors lose their energy. Then where this energy goes? This energy is used to heat the connecting wires. The wires through which we connect the capacitors, the energy goes to heat the connecting wires. This formula is directly used for numerical purpose, and I think questions you have completed in previous section. If not, then we will discuss. If any doubt, write in comment box and subscribe my channel for next video. Thank you.